question. So parents here, when Karthik is a true example of intellectual vitality at Stanford, and when he says he began only in October, please don't misunderstand. He was doing what he was doing. He was because for the joy of learning alone, and not because he wanted a college application or he wanted Stanford. So Karthik, would you please throw light on the fact, the concept that is introduced by Stanford, which is intellectual vitality? And a lot of children might just misunderstand that you started in October, and they can also get into Stanford and full scholarship if they start in October. So
No,
why
yeah,
goes beyond sixth, seventh grade. So please throw some light on that.
yeah, no, it's a very good point. I mean, I was participating in, for example, on the academic side of things. I was doing Olympiads as early as I think sixth grade. Your regular, NTSE, JSTS, all of those exams. All of that was happening. I was writing research papers. I was publishing research papers as a high school student. But again, not for Stanford, right? Like not for US. I just wanted to do it because I wanted to do it. I developed a software, as I said, that converted, that essentially sonified graphs. I open sourced that, and I think at that point in time, it was being used by thousands of people who are blind or low vision around the world. So there was a lot already happening. I also had a lot going on in advocacy as well. So when I was in the 10th grade, for example, the Central Board of Education, the CBSE, did not allow blind students to pursue sciences. So I was able to actually lobby the board and get the permission for all blind students across the country to, for them to study sciences. Was able to kind of work it out with IITs as well. And I do quite frankly think that, for me as a teenager to be able to kind of do that and not give up, and kind of say, oh, well, because the system does not allow me to study sciences, I'm not going to do sciences. But instead, I'm going to, like, for example, fight back and challenge that decision and challenge the status quo and really go and try and do that. And not only try and do that, but actually succeed. I was actually the all-India topper in the board exams in the special category. So, all of that to kind of say that this was something that I was doing because I wanted to do it, right? I had a dream of becoming a computer scientist. I wanted to try and develop software that would help other people. And, had it not been Stanford, had it not been the US, it would have been somewhere in India or somewhere else, right? So I was really kind of very sure about what I wanted to do, that I think all of that fell into place and, helped me get a position at Stanford. In terms of intellectual vitality, I mean, this is really kind of, and by the way, don't get me wrong, I'm not a perfect example of intellectual vitality that Stanford is looking for. Like, but I don't think anyone else is either, right? It's like, everyone's individual personal journey, and what you kind of like, how you present it and what you do. And it's really just about your story and how it all comes together. And Stanford realizing that, okay, you already have demonstrated a lot of potential, and there is something unique available on campus that you will be able to leverage and do what you're doing, but even better. I think that's kind of really what they're looking for. And you kind of applying your knowledge, academic or otherwise, in various other aspects of your life as well, to do things that are meaningful to you, right? And that hopefully will be meaningful to the world as well.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Karthik.